Hey, Bobby Manning here. Welcome to another Garden Report from Barclays Center. Celtics beat the Nets, and a bench performance mixed in with the starters, a big part of it.
Ball it out.
We've talked a lot about the second unit so far to start the year because it hasn't been great. Some Kornet struggles. Payton Pritchard's gotten off to a slow start, and that did continue tonight. They've looked for something from Oshae Brissett, and he's given it to them on the boards, but not much shooting, not much scoring there. And through 3 games, this team ranked last in bench points, even with Al Horford mixed in on the second unit. He gets a spot start tonight, so you're calling up even more bench contributors. And they get 21 points, which was important, especially in the second half. 11 from Kornet, who broke out in a big way here. Sam Hauser had a steal, a breakout dunk, and Pritchard's out there organizing along with Tatum and Holiday. So I know they scored 46 points against the Pacers, and that was impressive in the blowout win late in garbage time, but this is the more important kind of bench contribution you're looking for.
Contributors and their contribution, for sure. I mean, that was a habit of this team last year, right? Coming out of halftime, a little sluggish, or at least the other team would catch them off guard, get out to a quick run. So the Nets did that, and I love the way this team responded because it was a mix of the starters, but it was also bench guys, and like you mentioned, guys who haven't really played consistently, especially your boy Kornet, right?
So 11 points, 7 rebounds, right?
That's exactly what you want to get for someone who's not exactly that spot starter, so to speak, but let's face it, if Derek White plays tonight, he probably doesn't get that many minutes, but he was ready for that moment. So that's huge, especially showing a little bit of that rim protection down low, which they needed. I felt like, after Porzingis got posterized in that first half, it was sort of like the Nets was feeling a lot more comfortable of attacking the rim. And look, Kornet came in, he made the most out of his minutes. I loved what I saw out of Sam Hauser because it wasn't just about the 3-point shot, right? He got 2 steals in that stint from like the middle of the third quarter.
Boys.
Absolutely, especially when you get a steal in the backcourt, you're running back on defense. All that stuff is relative for sure. He dunked, yeah, that's true. Loud finish, those 2 steals, especially in that, to finish the third quarter, going into the fourth, and Tatum, obviously close things out. But that's what you want to see from the second unit. I mean, again, we talked about this a couple of nights ago. I'm not expecting a full 5 or even 4 guys to, combine for 30-plus points every single night. But when you have guys that go in, do their job, whether it's rebounding, like we saw from Brissett, creating more opportunities, or the defense out of Kornet and a little bit out of Hauser. I mean, all that stuff goes a long way. I think the points are going to find themselves. That's not going to be the case all year long in terms of point production, but getting a little bit out of everyone goes a long way. And I think Payton Pritchard will find his way at some point throughout this span.
Yeah, and with Oshae, it's offensive rebounding right now. Another big one in this game that led to a 3. Not finding his shot yet, 1 of 4 in this game. Doesn't look great from the perimeter. And that's the story right now, is where do these guys find points? You found them, I think, by mixing in starters with them. I didn't see a ton of Tatum with this group early on in the season. Holiday, you mentioned him. Found Luke more consistently than anyone in this game, especially with the outlet passes in that second half. So something to be said, I think, by mixing in more effective playmakers with these guys. Because honestly, even including Pritchard, the second unit doesn't have a ton of offensive facilitators and creators on that group. But even Horford, I think a couple years ago probably could have done a little bit more of that, but now he's a spot-up shooter too. Guys got to create for him. Yeah,
no, that's true. No, for sure. But you want to see these guys sort of find that rhythm. Guys from the second unit that come in and just get their job, do their job in a way that Joe Mazzulla feels comfortable to call on those guys, over and over. So when someone like Derek White is out, you don't see a tremendous drop-off, which wasn't really the case. I know going into this one, like you said, they're not scoring a whole lot, as a second unit, combined. But you look at the way they responded in that second half and, sort of hold off the Nets for the stars to come back in, I thought went a long way. And I would love to see also Jalen mixed with those guys, kind of help get him going, keep his offensive flow. I know he had a sort of a cold shooting night. I think that could help him on nights when that happens.
Yeah, definitely. And they're going to need the second unit. They're a thinner team. They're more bent on the starters, and they're going to try to get rest. Joe Mazzulla said that. 14 games in 25 days here, back-to-back coming up next weekend. So there'll be more games where guys get pulled up into action, and maybe some faces we haven't even seen yet. I think there'll be some mixing in there. But for now, they've trusted the guys that they've included in this rotation, the Pritchards, Hausers, Brissetts, and
Yeah.
Kornets. And tonight they finally got some solid returns from pretty much all those guys, and a good win here. We talked about Tatum's contributions in our last video here, as well as him scoring 10,000 points. Go check that out. I'm excited about Luke. You on Luke Island?
Not quite, but I like what he's doing. I'm not going to sail over anytime soon. But again, he did his job. He did what he was supposed to do. Your name is called. You show up, you know, a little bit of everything.
That's what he's supposed to do.
Exactly. You do a little bit of you know, on both ends of the floor, some defensive stops, some loud finishes down low. I mean, who's going to complain about that?
Yep, we will not. And check out more of our coverage on the Garden Report. That's it from Brooklyn. I'll be in Philly on Wednesday, and Celtics are in Minnesota on Monday. We'll have remote coverage of that.
Let's see if they keep
as
this
they
thing
try
going.
to stay undefeated. It's hard to imagine ending anytime soon. For Josue Pavon, Bobby Manning, CLNS Media, and Celtics All Access, this has been the Garden Report. We'll talk to you soon.